Good morning, everybody. I've already seen Jill is in the room, and good morning. And who else was here? And Barb, hey, good morning. Um, so welcome, everybody. I'm Belinda, and you are here at Just Be Yoga, a donation-based yoga community outreach. And we are here this morning sharing Home Yoga Practice Live. Yesterday, we shared a bit about approaching your yoga practice from the perspective of the 5 koshas, the 5 layers. And the more I've been thinking about this, I feel as though Tuesday through Friday, we can have some thematics so that you kind of have an understanding or an expectation of, oh, well, what's coming today, instead of like rando Belinda coming at you. And rando's all right, because each day your life is going to give you different needs and different things to heal or respond to. But for the purposes of living in the real life world, where people really need something that has some order and structure, because our lives kind of got blown up without order and structure, I'm thinking that Tuesday will be a little bit more philosophical, and Wednesday will be empowering and looking at elements of power and how we break that down. Thursday will be basic and looking at basic elements of our practice. And Friday will be how to move beyond some of the basics and step a little bit further into your practice, finding new edges. How about we call it that, finding new edges? So that way it also follows a little bit along the lines of the types of classes we actually have on schedule in the in-studio. We have basics, we have beyond basics, we have power. Do also check in on our Sundays on our chakra yoga flow, if that's something that you would like. And on Thursday nights, our Yoga 2 XL, that is our curvy yoga, but that's by a Zoom invite only. So you have to join our Facebook group, our Yoga 2 XL Facebook group. Because I want that to be a safe space where people can join. They can, I can see their bodies on screen and make adjustments as necessary. So welcome. Let's start with a little bit of some clearing quiet space, making your practice your own. And for those who are new to checking out our Home Yoga Practice Live, I'm trying to involve bringing in all 8 limbs of yoga. How we treat others, how we treat ourselves, our physical body, our breath, our relationship to our senses, concentration, meditation, and then how we unify and pull it all together. Those are all of the 8 limbs without using Sanskrit terms. It's because we don't speak Sanskrit out in the street. So make yourselves comfortable. Hey, Claudia, we're going to do a little bit of how to approach having a power practice at home. But our practice is nonetheless always our practice. So find a way of sitting. That could even be lying down for a space of quietude and stillness. Bringing the gaze within, starting to let the noise of the outside and the noise of our thoughts start to come down. Our yoga practice is a deeply intimate practice, one in which we get to connect with ourselves. So even though you're joining me here today, this is you. This is all on you. You get to be real with you. So let's just start breath by breath. To arrive. Don't try to tune out anything. If anything, our yogic practice heightens awareness. And some may say, well, then that just sounds crazy, right? It's like, that's too much. But within the heightened awareness, we also become aware of our reactions. And therein, we look at our stuff, what we react to, how we react. We start to put into practice some of the elements of yoga to detach from our attachments and our reactivity. Let's start our check-in, feeling how your feet are, your knees, your hips. Starting to build that mind to body connection, where it's just checking in and checking in and checking in. You do your body scan and progress throughout your entire body. Some of you have heard me talk about in my home practice, I'm a big fan of a journal. So I start writing down, what did I notice? What did I notice that's changed? And what's my relationship to sensation? Because I don't have the same relationship to tension, or the way I referred to it 10 years ago, as I do now. Or tightness, or even ache, right? Sometimes now when I feel ache, I go, oh, that was well used. Or, oh, that was overused. Or the close part of the attachment to the bone was overstressed, but about 3 inches away from the bone, that muscle actually feels pretty good. But that's because I spent a lot of time developing that awareness and a collaborative relationship with my inner landscape, which hopefully you are all well on your way to establishing. I'm going to check in on my breath. And just observe my breath, not changing it. And just so you know, I'm going to use the koshas from yesterday as the way in which I do my check-in. So I'm going to check in on my physical body layer. I'm not going to rush myself through that. I start to check in on my breath body layer. Noticing where in my physical body I am aware of this breath body. And I'm not going to rush that. Start to check in on my mental body layer. Ooh, and there it feels like I opened up a door and like a gale force wind just like hit me. So I better not rush that. And I feel the busyness of my mind, that task list, because I'm in the thick of my week now and I'm just like cranking out things and I'm trying to say, okay, but be here. That will be then. 50 minutes from now, at the very least. So I can afford to bring all of my attention into this second. And when I work on quieting a bit of that mind, it isn't about trying to tune that out. As I said before, it's about inviting myself to saturate in what is available to me to perceive right now, because I'm missing it when my awareness is running around down the football field. Now bring in my check-in on my wisdom body, that fourth layer in the kosha system, in our Russian egg. And I feel a little confusion right now because I'm realizing, wow, I don't think I've really tapped into what does my wisdom body have to tell me today. So I used yesterday to check in and go, oh yeah, those were a couple of lessons my wisdom body was trying to say, and it was moderation, right? That was what my wisdom body was kind of poking me, going, moderation. So it's always a nice way for me to re-plug in and go, oh yeah. And today my wisdom body is letting me know that balance, it's already right there. I really don't have to push very hard, and I'm not super sad. And it's okay to recognize that, oh, I'm okay. I know that I've been braced lately for, got to be ready for this stress that's going to hit me and that stress that's going to hit me. So it's like, oh, wait a minute, right now, placid water, got it. And to enjoy it, not to try to hoard it or preserve it, but, oh, I could just saturate it. And then my bliss body. And then just to share a little bit, as we all do, a little check-in on our bliss. I was doing a little reading this morning with my Lilias Folan book. And some of you may have recalled I've referred to her before in some of my books, and as someone that I've gotten the pleasure of meeting. But what I got to read is she was talking about the bliss body and said it's as simple as a smile. Because the smile just kind of plugs in emotionally, even chemically within us, the simplicity of joy, not ecstasy and not excitability. And so I just invite that inner smile. I'm going to take a few clearing breaths. All right. So even just doing that check-in takes a level of power, right? A little bit of that discipline. And there's a lot of power in discipline. That discipline to say, I'm going to patiently come through step by step and check in with all 5 of these elements of my being. My physical being, my breath being, my mental being, my wisdom being, and what about my bliss? And maybe sometimes I'll do it in the opposite direction because I think bliss gets short shrift, right? And it's almost like, and then bliss, and then I get to run on. No, if I start with the bliss and really spend some time in it, maybe let physicality in that exterior material world be like, I'm going to give you a kiss on the cheek today, but for the rest of them, I'm going to spend a little bit more time. So think about that too, about the order in which you do things. Could you start your practice in Shavasana? Power Shavasana? Ooh, start to really notice what's brewing because a heat is going to build nonetheless. All right, so power. I think that sometimes we talk about power in ways, or power yoga in ways that it's really intimidating. So I hope that even by me posting that out there this morning on our Facebook, I hope it didn't scare people off and go, I'll check in on another day when Belinda's not doing power, all right? So power, I like to look at it in terms of how do I empower myself? How do I feel activation within me? And ignition. So activating stillness, activating and empowering myself into a little space of discomfort. And when do I want to run? When do I want to bail? Activating a power in one leg versus 2. Empowering myself to look at my emotional states. All right, so if you're just joining, we're going to get started into our a little bit more of the physical aspect of some of our power practice today. And I'm just going to still wake up the body. So I'm going to lengthen my legs out. And this is also my very first practice of the morning. I really haven't done a lot this morning. I did a lot of prayer and did a lot of tea. So you guys are going to see me really warming up the body truly. And I'm a little rickety-crickety. So I'm going to lengthen my legs out and point and flex. I'm going to start to reflect on the check-in. And actually, my body is feeling fairly balanced today. Rotating my ankles. I'm going to start to reflect on, what space of power have I been in my feet? What power do I draw from them? Wake up my legs. So this is still a version of a check-in. I'm going to sit up tall in the spine. We can apply our thought about strength and empowerment and activation in standing postures, seated postures, reclining postures, balancing postures, inverted postures. So here's a seated posture. I'm going to sit in Dandasana and lift the chest nice and erect, pressing the backs of the legs down, and just find my breath and observe what I observe. about squeezing these thighs and sitting in a space of activation. And actually now I'm already starting to back off a little bit because I think I went into it with a little too much aggression. And that's another thing to ponder when we're working on our power. Do we know the difference between aggression and forceful and empowerment for ourselves? Because no matter what, our power needs to feel safe for us, to live inside of it, to activate it from within us. Now I'm starting to feel some of my low abs holding me as I'm holding this Dandasana. Dandasana is very humbling because it can start to really feel like, wait a minute, that's a lot of work. And feeling the power inside of working. Working requires degrees of power. Keep pulling the navel to the back of the spine, lifting intentionally a little taller in the spine, pushing the backs of the legs down. Start to confront now your mental body. What is it saying to you? Is it saying, I want to stop? Is it saying this is hard? What is the language that starts to get associated when you notice that you are working? And are you willing to meet yourself in the working? Do you need to back off? So I've started to squeeze a little less in the legs and say, I can find a degree of working that isn't overly stressful. Or maybe, and for me right now, I'm actually going to apply my core a little bit more because I actually know that, I can actually sustain this without getting too weary. I might be getting aggravated, but I'm not getting weary. Breath in. Breath out. Inhale, lifting. Exhaling, I'm going to hinge forward and just release that energy, rounding the spine. And I have to accept that, as I told you all, this is my first time moving today. Ooh, so my back is really tight. So this is my first forward bend. My knees are slightly bent. And with every exhale, I'm starting to soften and surrender. B.K.S. Iyengar said that there's a lot of humility in us generating and getting to know our power. So maybe use that as a point of reflection, bringing in an aspect of dharana and dhyana, focus and meditation, two limbs of the yoga tree, as we sit here and feel the body slowly releasing and surrendering, and acknowledging the power that it takes to be humble. And I'll gradually lift my spine up. I'm going to twist. Wake up my body, just saying good morning still, and twist. Come on back to center. Find that nice Dandasana, feeling that stable, still power to hold. Breath in, lifting, exhale, coming forward. So I'm only giving you ideas of ways to start. The mindset is really what I hope that people will take to apply into whatever it is that they're doing. I'm going to bring my right knee in, wrap my arm around it for a simple Marichyasana. Breath in and twist. Again, twisting the spine, feeling my hips, waking up the body, releasing, coming around, twisting, feeling my roots, sitting down through the sits bones, lifting up through the top of the head. Start to create an awareness of how my breath and my body are working together. Remember those two layers of our koshas, physical body, breath body. They are intertwined, interconnected. They need one another. They are not separate. And release, lengthen that leg, breath in, coming forward. Breathing into this moment. Ooh, nice. Now I'm getting to feel my physical body reaction going on in the backs of those legs. Feeling my mind reaction that's like, oh, finally I'm moving a little bit better. But could I have let go of that as an expectation, right? Because there may be a day where my forward fold won't feel like it always has. I'm going to bring myself around to come to child's pose. Go ahead and make yourselves to child's pose. I'm going to turn that furnace off. It's still on, and I feel like I'm competing sound-wise. Good. We're in our child's pose. Knees are wide. Feeling the spine lengthen forward. Maybe resting your head on a block. Using this as a check-in again. Feeling the backs of my ribs, accepting breath. Maybe noticing my mind saying, okay, wait a minute, I wanted my power my way. And that takes power unto itself to go, oh, look at me. Look at where my mind is going. And could this still be enough? Sandhosha. Accepting where I am, being where I am and not where I want to be. Confronting desire. I'm going to walk my arms over to the right, giving myself a little side bend in my child's pose, feeling the side of my body. Still in this nice, humble child's pose. Gradually walking my way on over to the other side, observing how I moved in my body. Hopefully still with some ahimsa, non-harming. And I'm going to come back forward, lengthening the arms out, spreading the fingers, still building all of that awareness. We're building on the practice that we've been establishing over the last few days and weeks together in our home yoga practice here live at Just Be Yoga. And so we're going to come forward to hands and knees, feel the arms, accepting that weight shifting back. Feeling the spine and the hips, wearing that physical body, coming forward, feeling the back of the spine and the neck. I kept my chin tucked that time and sinking it back. Good. I'm going to come back forward, feeling the breath connection with the body. Can they work together? If the body is moving, is there still breath going in whatever direction so that neither is static? They're all interconnected, interdependent. And then I'm going to come forward to hands and knees, tuck the toes, and lift the hips up for down dog. First inversion, pedaling my heels, waking up the backs of my legs, maybe turning my neck left and right. I'm going to work my tailbone here, just tucking it under and tilting it back, softening my shoulders. How am I wearing acceptance right now? How am I wearing non-harming truthfulness? How am I wearing contentment and self-study and observation? All of those are elements of the first two limbs of yoga. Lengthening. I'm going to bring my knees down and lay myself down for the first time on my belly. Feeling the front of me, bringing some awareness into that part of my body. Noticing how my low back is actually a little aggravated. My pelvis is a little aggravated. It's telling me, hey, Belinda, you probably want to slow down as you get moving. Try not to let my shoulders dump. I'm going to put some energy into them, some awareness, pulling them up and back. And I'm going to lift for a very gentle first cobra. So I've got my palms down. And as I had started to lift my spine, my back was like, okay, I think you better slow your roll. So I'm going to slow my roll. And many of you might be like, wow, it's barely moving at all. Yeah, my first time through most things in the morning. I'm barely moving. Breathe. And this is that wonderful humility that comes with power and comes with practice. Greeting my body first thing in the morning. It's kind of like, my inner baby waking up. And she's a little cranky. She's stiff. It's like, all right, I'm going to turn my neck here, warming up my back, building my awareness, saying hello. Now I'm going to use the arms, lifting the spine a little bit more. And it's saying, okay, I think I'm ready to move a little. I like to turn my hips here, just saying, ooh, good morning. Shoulders back, seeing my arms, are they ready to hold me up? And then child's pose. And then wear that energy. Feel that release of energy. And then feel what we plugged into and drew into us as far as energy. Now, if we were thinking of ourselves and our energy as a dial, I'm going to start to turn it up now to out of a scale of 10, I'm going to turn it up to about a 3 and just see if I can find a way of consistently keeping that energy flowing in a bit of a flow to generate tapas, discipline, devotion, as well as heat. Tapas meaning heat. And that's an element of the same limb of yoga. Sometimes we talk about it in terms of burning away our crap. I don't like to invite the notion of burning anything inside of me. I'm a trauma survivor. I'm a person of color. I am not going to put anything of harm to myself, and that's not a notion I want to invite inside of myself, but I do want to conduct my own heat, and I want to feel my power. So I'm going to find it in sustaining some consistent flow. All right, so arms are going to come out in front of me. You're going to get to choose your pacing, all right? I'm going to try to find a moderate pacing for those who are joining who might be fairly new to this. So we're going to come forward to hands and knees, feel the shifting, tucking the toes, lifting the hips down, dog. Breath in, tilting the tailbone up. Exhale, I'm going to bring one knee down, step the other leg up, feeling the core to bring it up there, bringing the second leg up. Half flat back, lifting. Remember, number 3 on the dial, forward fold, letting the flesh sag. Breathe in, coming all the way up, feeling the connection of my mind with my breath and my body. Forward fold, letting it go. 3 layers of my sheath. Breath in, lifting the chest. Exhale, bringing one leg back, knee down. Plant the palm, step the other knee back, lean forward, find your plank, lower through. Try not to find stoppage in movement. Breath in, nice and easy, not going very far. Exhale, coming to down dog, tucking the toes, lifting the hips. Arms are straight, head is releasing. Feel a little bit of heat, feel your breath, try to regulate your breath. All we're doing is breathing and moving together. Breathe in. Exhale, bring a knee down and step a foot up. If you don't need that transition, take both feet up toward the top of your mat. Half flat back, lengthen softly. Forward fold, let the upper body go. Bending my knees, pulling my butt back, lifting my chest chair. Forward fold, letting it go. Remember, I'm just trying to flow. Breath in, lengthening all the way through my neck. Hands down, step to your version of plank, lowering through. Breath in, cobra, relax your backside. Exhale, downward facing dog, pressing the heels back, lifting the butt. Breath in, lift the right leg up. You choose how high. Stepping that foot through, back foot flat. We're just wanting to feel constant flow. Breathing in, coming up, warrior 1. Stay soft. Don't try to nail all of your alignment. Stepping back, lowering through. You're just kind of moving in water here. Breathing in, be gentle. Don't go to your max. Exhale, downward facing dog. Just feeling energy flowing through your pipeline. Breath in, left leg. Exhale, stepping that foot through. Take your time, back foot flat, coming all the way up. Choose your stability first. Hands come down, stepping to plank. Maybe using those knees. Breath out as you're lowering. Inhaling it up, cobra. Exhaling to downward facing dog. Breath in. Breath out. Looking forward, traveling your feet up in between your hands. Where is the balance? Can you step alternate breath in, lift the chest. Forward fold, let the upper body go. Gonna come to a sun A. Breathe in, come all the way up. Sun salutation A. Feel your hips, feel your core. Forward fold, let it go. Feel your body warming up. Half fly back. Hands down, stepping it back to plank. Take a breath, maybe use those knees. Lower through, feel each piece. Try not to just drop your body to the earth. Breath in, lifting the chest. We're feeling activation and ignition. Exhale, downward facing dog. This is your power, not mine. Breath in, look forward, maybe bringing a knee down, bringing the feet up in between your hands. Half flat back, forward fold. I hope some of you are feeling kind of warm. Bend the knees, lift the chest, hands can be there. Fold, letting it go. Soften your faces, let your jaw go. Half flat back. Look at your reactions. Hands down to the floor, stepping it back. Maybe use the knees, lower through, breathe out. Breath in. Are you making room for the breath body? Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe in, right leg lifts. You don't have to lift it very high. Look at the ego, look at your pride. Step the foot down, back foot flat. Sink as you rise, breathing in. Exhaling, hands coming down, stepping to plank, lowering it through. Maybe go to down dog and skip that. Breath in. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left leg lifts. Breath in. Starting to really enjoy this heat or observe this heat. Stepping that foot through, back foot flat. Root down through those feet. Lift up with your heart. Hands come down. Step to plank. Hold your plank and breathe. And observe what we observe. Start to ask yourself, okay, can I bring my knees down? Do I really want to hold this anymore? Where is my breath here? Where is my mind here? All right, wisdom body, help me out. Are you practicing yoga and connecting, or are you punishing yourself? Do you know what you have? Now, what's going on? Could your legs be doing more work to help out your upper body? Breath. Good, down dog, butt goes up, head goes down. Maybe widen those feet out, change something. Soften the experience in your arms, especially if you were dumping in them. And let this inversion of letting your head come down toward the floor help you reflect. Maybe practice that smile for that inner bliss. Sometimes our power is about just doing something that either we rarely do because it's hard, or we don't know how to do and it's just unfamiliar. And tapping into our power, our courage, and our humility, right? Because to acknowledge what we don't know, that takes a lot of humility, and that's power, that's courage. All right, I'm going to bring my feet a little closer together. Bring the knees down. Roll it up until we're standing on the knees, and get ready to find a camel. All right, so I'm going to bring my hands to my hamstrings, pushing my hips forward, aiming the chest up. Trying not to drop the head or the neck, asking for my low belly and my low hips to lift. Good, and then bring ourselves down for child's pose. Restore, feel your heat. And I'm going to roll it up. Okay, So I've used Dandasana, or the staff pose, that seated erect pose at the beginning of the class, the beginning of movement, as a way to talk about how to sit in a space and hold it and look at that interior landscape and feel the working that is going, your core working, your back, notice your mind working, and see, are they collaborating or are they fighting against one another? I would say that stopping and pausing at that plank was another way to hit the pause button and sit with the charge of that dial of your energy and the strength that it's taking to hold that and look at your equilibrium and your balance. Now, the flow is another thing that continuing to go through. When I'm developing a first-time home practice of kind of confronting that, I might keep that bar low and say, okay, I want to do 4 of those. And don't put any kind of pacing on it, and just say, can I keep my breath kind of regular? Then once you feel as though you've hit a space where you're not overtaxing your energy, you want to turn your dial up and say, oh, can I go to 4? And whether that means a little bit faster or whether that means I'm going to add 2 more and see if I can stay in the calm mind, calm breath balance as I go, and just feel that consistent flow. All right. So those are a few aspects. I'm going to add in 1 more flow and start to add in 2 more postures for us to look at in terms of empowering ourselves in our home practice. All right. So ready? We're going to lengthen the arms out. Arms are out in front of us, bringing that mindful awareness of how I'm holding my arms, feeling my right elbow, recognizing I need to give it a lot more stability. I think I'm overstressing my right arm. I'm going to come up to my hands and knees, feeling my fingers in each digit, helping me out. Tuck the toes, lift the hips down low. So I'm going to find 1 more flow. What I'm going to say is people refer to as that vinyasa flow, that threaded together sequence, just to kind of get that heat back up again, because I've sat and yacked my face a little bit. And if you're just joining, we're here at our home yoga practice live, and today we're breaking down a few elements of how we develop some power in our home practice. So we're going to breathe in, push the butt up, elongate the spine, feel yourself stretching your spine. And then we'll step or walk the feet up in between our hands. Half flat back breath in, forward fold breath out, bending the knees. Whoop, I rushed too fast, right? So I've got to establish my root and then lift myself up, okay? That's what takes me off of my balance when I'm rushing. I'm going to reach forward and bring it back up. So chair, squeezing the legs again, just like in plank. I'm feeling out what are the areas of the body that are doing exerted work, and can I equalize that energy, or am I overly focused here? Am I putting it all here and everything up here doesn't have to work? No, everything up here has to work. Got to pull in that core, ask that upper body to still lift some of the weight off the bottom body so the bottom body doesn't have to carry that load. Reaching the chest forward, breath in. Reaching the chest forward, hands down, forward fold, deep breath. You can choose to take in as much of what I'm doing or as little. This is your practice. I'm going to bring my hands to the floor or a block. So if your hands don't reach the floor very easily, I'm going to step the left leg back and stay on the back toes. You can bring your hands to that right knee and come up, or you could ask your core to bring you up for crescent warrior. Hands could always be at prayer or at your hips. Pushing that left heel back, feeling the lengthening going on in this quad, in this hip, in this front hip flexor. Feeling my hips. Ask myself, is this knee bent? So now I'm going to look at the camera and go, oh, I guess I could bend it a little bit more. Breathing in. Breathing out, opening it up, warrior 2, breathing in, breathing out. Good. I'm going to bring the hands down out in front of me. Step this left leg up. Trade it out. Step the right leg back. Stay on the back toes. Choose how I want to come up for crescent. Remember, I'm tacking on a new flow. Feeling out the strength of the legs. Lifting that upper body. Breath in. Breath out. Spinning that back foot flat. Bending that left knee. Turning the hips open. Warrior two. Energy up through the spine, sinking down in these legs. Breath. Hands come down to the floor. Let's step to plank, our new friend. All right, here we go. We're going to come down to elbow height. So my belly isn't on the floor. My chest isn't on the floor. Good. Bring it back up to plank. I'll wait. Now I'm going to bring these knees down. All right, so we're going to work on what's called chaturanga. In the chaturanga, I've got my nipples over thumbs, and I'm going to start to bend the elbows and bring it back up. Shave the elbows up against the ribs and come forward and back up. Good, down dog. Probably didn't look like that if that's your first time, bringing mindful attention and awareness into how you come through. You probably confronted some WTF in your mind while you were doing that. Or you just said, I'm just going to skip that, and Belinda's just kind of doing show and tell yoga right now. All right, let's find another flow. Breathe in. Look forward, step the feet up, feel the legs, squeeze them, breath in, lift the chest. Exhale, forward, fold, bend the knees, sink it back, lift it up, chair, squeeze those legs, find your strength. Coming forward, bring it back up. Remember, you can skip this. Coming forward, squeezing my belly muscles, squeezing my back muscles, and bring it back up. I don't want to just dump everything into the legs. Bringing it forward, forward fold, letting it go. Hands to the floor or the block, lift the chest. Step the left leg back, maybe a little longer. Squeeze inner thighs, ask them to give me stability as I come up through my crescent. Lifting, breathing, soft shoulders. I don't need stress. Spanning it open, warrior two. Good. Hands come down. Step the left leg up. Trade it out. Step the right leg back. Squeeze inner thighs. Feel this side. Arrive. Lift. What are we noticing about our heart rate? Are we still calm? Where's that bliss body now? What does it have to teach us? Smile. Look. We have energy. Spin the back foot flat, fine, warrior two on this side. Thank the universe for the life and the vibrancy that's within us. Ooh, we are living, breathing, warm-blooded beings. Down to the floor, stepping to plank. Maybe use those knees. Take a breath, say something positive. Here we go. Coming to our chaturanga. Elbow high, back up, breath. Down dog. Good. I'm going to lightly bend my knees here and walk my hands back to my feet. And just ragdoll at the back of my mat. Remember that humility. Remember the opposite side of the energy. So if we were on the positive side of the charge, we're just investing right now in the negative side of the charge. Call it replenishing your cup. But still power and empowering. And we'll roll the spine up. I'm going to work now on a bit of some standing, actually just one because we're running out of time. Standing posture for feeling that heat, that tapas, okay? So I'm going to turn You could have your hand at a wall here, so I've got my hand at the wall over here. Or you could say, I'm gonna just have my arms where they are. Feel your mountain. Any posture you can cultivate your power in. Stand in this mountain long enough. Stand in this mountain long enough and engage those legs and the torso and start to feel that working. And then you confront it against the busyness in your mind. And that's a war. You'll be in that heat. All right, we're going to root into the left leg, and I'm going to invite the right knee up. Now again, this is still my first time in my morning practice, so I'm going to warm up this thigh. I didn't really want me to bring it up super high. So I'm just like, hey, can you help me out? And it's like, well, not really. I'm like, oh, but I'm asking. And it's like, oh, all right. So now I'm checking in on my spine, trying to stand and regain into my mountain. And that means I gotta ask my core to help me hold this leg up. Remember that free hand could be holding your wall. I'm gonna let this leg go and I'm gonna send the heel straight out in front of me, driving the heel as perpendicular as I can. Growing tall through the back of my head. Now I'm feeling my standing leg. Squeeze all the muscles in that extended leg. Feel that physical body. Feel that breath body. Are they working together or did they abandon one another already? Mental body, what's mental body doing? Wisdom body, what does wisdom body have to say right now? Breath. Bliss, smile. And bring that leg down and just feel the mountain and feel the restoration. We feel the accumulation, right? We primed the pump to hold that. All right, I'm finding my mountain again. I'm going to root into this leg and I'm going to ask this leg, or prime this one too. Now, this right leg is already fatigued from being held out. So now I'm going to lift. Standing rooted, looking at what my foot is doing, what my ankle is doing. Anamaya kosha, my physical body awareness. Ooh, my back muscles, and then my body was like, what? And so, if I actually get them involved, it takes some pressure out of the leg. Hey, they can work together. I can release this arm, reaching that leg out. Now, guys, it can look like that. It can be way down here. Just energy through that heel. But if we're working it, let's find a new edge. Lifting, growing tall, unifying. Let's start from the bliss to the wisdom. The bliss is, I am alive today. I woke up. I'm seeing this sunshine. My wisdom is saying, oh, that right calf is starting to talk. Maybe your wisdom is saying, I've already hit my edge, you need to come out, come out. Mental body, what's the garbage it's saying? It's running around the room. That's what my mental body is doing. Breath body really isn't doing much, so I'm going to start to breathe in and out and ask it. Help my focus. Help my intention. And physical body said, oh, thank you for bringing that leg down. And I'm going to thank both of my legs for showing me the strength that each of them individually had for me in this moment, in the moment that I called upon them. Breath in, let's reach, stretch it out. Exhale, come on forward. Let the upper body go. I'm shifting forward and back, changing that weight distribution in those legs. Now I'm going to bring myself down onto my mat. And we're going to lay down. Lengthening the legs out. letting the feet fall open and heavy. Adjusting my arms and my shoulders. Let the working breath be gone. Observe what's going on in the physical body. I can still feel my heart. It's not at a 3. It might be down to a 2. But appreciating that it's working for me. It's activating for me. Ready to ignite for me. Thank you, heart. This heart that's been beating since before I was born. Without a break, without a rest. Try to resist the urge to adjust or fidget. That's its own kind of heat, resisting our urges. Practice your bliss. What is available to you in this minute? A future minute isn't guaranteed. All we got is right here. What's the bliss and the joy that's right here? Use your power to find that. Connect with that in many forms. Or maybe we'll stretch, point the toes, working the ankles, say hello. Without using my hands, I'm going to bring my knees into the chest, just asking for a little bit of core. I'm going to drop both knees on over to the left. Spinal twist. Still without using the arms, I'm going to bring the knees back to center. Try to keep the inner thighs together. Come on over to the right, feeling that core activation. And then I'll bring myself up to a seated space. All right, we're going to find a nice space of sitting for a breath practice and a meditation before we close. Oh, Amanda. Sorry, you guys. You guys are seeing me using my old lady eyeballs without eyeglasses. I'm going to get a bigger screen. I'm going to get a, cordless keyboard, all of the things, just the yoga wish list. Hit that donate button. All right. We're going to find a nice, comfortable seated space. You could have your back against the wall. Your practice hasn't changed in its essence with your intention. Okay, so you still can use all of the props that you need as you start to tap into your space of power as we get ready for a breath practice. So spine is lifting. Do a quick scan through all 5 layers, feeling how they are now with that stimulation that we have done, that activation that we have done. Let's go ahead and bring the hands to the belly. And then try to relax the belly. Just let it poof right on out into your hands. Feel the volume of your tummy. And just encourage a natural abdominal breath here. And what I mean by that is letting the abdomen expand and fill up loosely into your hands. Big balloon, and then exhale, letting it retract naturally. Don't suck it in. Breath in. Breath out. Breath in. Breath out. Now keeping the mouth closed, breathe in just in the nose and out the nose, and try to be aware of keeping the back of your throat and your windpipe open. Your flue is open. Even your nasal passageways wide open. Sometimes we thin them like we're swimming, like you don't want water to creep up and into the nostrils. So no, let's keep it wide and open. Now still with the mouth closed, just through the nose, breathe in, and a forceful exhale out, contracting the tummy. So if you're watching my tummy, we're going to breathe in, expand, out sharp. Breathe in, expand, big and full. Wide open. Don't try to go fast. You don't want to get dizzy. You don't want to feel stars. Feel your diaphragm. Force that air out. Feel your core expel. Burst. Natural abdominal breath. Sit up tall, regain your posture. Holding and sitting within yourself mindfully. And then we'll relax the arms. Let's have just a moment or two of some quiet reflection or meditation. Accepting this moment for what it is. Choosing to be present and aware in this moment, in all of our senses. Not attaching to anything we become aware of. Not reacting to our thoughts or our stimuli. Using our power in our focus and our meditation. What did we get to connect with about ourselves in our practice today? What did we get to unattach from? And what did we get to empower within us? Hands to the heart center at the Anjali Mudra, maybe holding an intention for yourself or for others. Gently. All that is kindness and love in me honors and respects that same kindness and love in you. And that's Namaste. Thank you all so much for coming and joining. It's so awesome to see the folks who have come in today. Check us out tomorrow, 10:30. Show up on the weekend. We're here almost every day except Monday. Namaste, you guys. Om Shanti, super peace. Enjoy your power.